Hello there, it's Jen, and it is Friday, March 20th. Welcome to my live. If you're here with me, let me know. If you're catching the replay, let me know. I go live here every Friday here on Facebook and also YouTube every Friday at this time, 3 p.m. Eastern, and I make a Stampin' Up! Card from start to finish. So what I like to do first is do a draw for the card that I made the week before. So the card I made the week before was this one here, using the beautiful Aspen Grove stamp set. So there's just a couple variations of it here. We're using some masking techniques and also some markers to do my picture freeze. And I also have another sample I wanted to show you too that I got from a stamping sister who had used the branches that we talked about in the live. So I've got all that, and I'm going to do a draw for the one that I did, which is this one right here. So anyone who has liked, commented, and shared, I've got you in a draw here. And I'm going to just share that screen and get the draw done. And then we'll get started making a project. So give me 1 second to share the screen. Here we go, share the screen. And here we go. So sorry, we got an ad because I'm using a free piece of software. But anyone who liked, commented, and shared is automatically in that draw. Well, if you're Canadian and not a demonstrator, you can win. So hello, Lisa. Lisa, you have won. So congratulations to you, Lisa. I'll reach out to you if I don't have your address. She says, good afternoon. And she's got snow on there, which is kind of appropriate because today, at least in Kingston, we have snow again. So I don't know about you guys, but yeah, too much snow, too much snow. So let's put those ones aside and this other one. And we'll just zoom right into the craft table here. And I'm going to say hello to Nicole and Vila and Paulette and Judy. Hello, guys. Thanks for watching. Just a couple little quick housekeeping things. This Notes of Spring is the product of the month this month. Very cute stamp set. Two-step stamping. You can get that for $5 with a $100 order, which is kind of nice. Also, just wanted to say, if you are interested in my newest class, the early bird is on until Sunday. So that is something that you can check out. If you're on my newsletter list, you will automatically hear about that. And if not, I'm just putting a link right there in the comments that you can check it out. Okay, so I'm going to use today something that I've been dying to use. I've used it once already. I made this card, the Cutest Crew, and then the Cutest Crew went out of stock. It's this one right here. Let me show you. And it went out of stock because it was so popular. Look how adorable this is. The little chicks, little puppies, and kitty cats, and then a bunch of little sayings and stuff. I just heard something turn on over here. Hopefully it's not my computer doing weird things. And then there's a bunch of dies. Tell me if this is lagging. It looks a little bit like it's lagging to me, the video. So what I did was I did a cutout of all the dies so you can see them a little bit better. So what it does, the dies, they cut out each of these images. So that's those three right there. But then there's all these extras. So let me just show you a couple. So there's this cute one with the little paw prints, which could be either for a cat or a dog. And then this little piece, nice border piece. I kind of think it looks like a collar, actually. And then I'm going to hold this up close so you can see the detail on this. Look at the dies. They're so cute. 3 cats, 3 dogs, 3 birds. They actually match parts of these images. And then there's some additional flowers so you can get the outline or the inside piece. And then these adorable tiny little butterflies. Look how tiny them. Look at my thumbnail. Look how small it is. Super cute. So this is an adorable bundle. And if you like this, don't wait because, like I said, it's been in and out of stock a couple of times because it's been so popular. And I have a couple more samples I want to show you at the end as well. And I realized I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so hopefully it doesn't beep again. I usually do that. Hello, Judy. And Judy says it looks fine to me. And same with Nicole. Okay, perfect. Good. Hopefully it's just what I'm seeing. Okay, so I'm going to start here with a little tiny piece of basic white. And this is, I'm just pulling it down. You can see me pulling it down here to my ruler. It is 4 1/2 by 1 1/4. Okay, I'm going to stamp with Memento ink. This is Memento Tuxedo Black. And because I'm going to be coloring with Blends markers, I need to use this ink so that it will not bleed on me. So I'm going to, sorry if I get my head in there. Stamp that image, press firmly. With photopolymer, you always want to let it sit and seep so that that color transfers. Beautiful. Now, actually, I feel like it's up a little bit too far, so I've got a second one here. I'm going to do that again. Actually, no, I'm die cutting it, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I gotta pull my sample over here so I remember how I colored it. Not that there's any right way to color it or anything. So I got a bunch of markers here, and I'm going to start with my dark Pretty in Pink. Now, this Pretty in Pink is one of the colors that will be retiring starting next month. So if you love this color, think about getting it before it goes on the retiring list and then it sells out. So all I've done is just put little ear marks on all of them. Just little tiny ones there. Okay, so I'm going to start off here. I'm going to use my light peach pie, and I'm going to color a ginger kitty. It was hard for me to pick what kind of colors kitties to do because our kitty cats are, we've got 2 blacks and a tabby. And we've had black cats before, but black doesn't always show up very well. So I'm going to do a modified black. So that's the ginger color. So now I'm going to take the light timid tiger and I'm going to add some stripes on here to make it look like a true ginger kitty. Maybe some on the face and the chin. Pretty much obliterated my pink on the ears, but how cute is that? Adorable. Okay, so the next one, let's make it just a plain. I might actually do, you know, I'm going to change up what I did. I'm going to do the tuxedo cat next, just because I think I can see more here. So my son and his girlfriend have a tuxedo cat. And so there's like white on the face and sort of white on the chin. And then their little paws are a little bit white on the ends. And then black pretty much everywhere else. So we're kind of going to frame out a little bit here. I don't think you can do this wrong, by the way. So I am using my light basic black marker so that you can still see some of the shading. And let's see. Does that look like a tuxedo cat? A little bit, eh? Maybe I'll put a tiny bit of black down here on the belly so you can sort of see. And then I'm going to take my dark basic black and just outline the one paw, which I meant to leave white and I didn't. Well, it looks like I've left the end of the tail. And maybe just a little bit around the chin just to make it show up a little bit more. That's so cute. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do in the color I intended on doing that one. And this is just going to be a little beige kitty. I've never had a beige kitty. I've had lots of different colors, but not beige. Anybody have a beige kitty? And I realize right now that, did I mean to do this? I meant to do it smoky slate. That's okay. We're changing it up. So I'm coloring it all with the light crumb cake. And then I'm going to go in and just add a few little highlights with the dark crumb cake. So again, just around the areas of the leg, maybe just around the arm, maybe the tail a little bit. And I'm not even going to try, maybe I'll do the ears just a little bit. I'm not even going to try and blend it because it's just such a small area. But it just adds a little more depth there. Hello, Laura. Love the set. Isn't it adorable? So cute. Okay, so this next one is super fun. I'm going to do a calico cat. So that's one that's got like a little bit of patches of color all over the place. And then some white. So that's the light peach pie. This is also one of the colors that is on the going to be on the retiring list. You know what? I have my... Do I have this easily? I don't have it easily. I'll put a link in there so you can see it. So that was light peach pie. This is timid tiger. So a little bit darker. Just giving the little kitty patches all over. Let me show you what I got so far. So cute. And then when I looked up a cat online, I looked just for images of this type of cat. I saw most of them had some black in them. So I'm just going to add a little bit of black, but then leave some white areas too for this kitty. I think I'll leave the face mostly white so you can see. Oh my gosh, how cute is that cat? So cute. And then the last kitty, we're going to make my little kitty cat. So, well, sort of, because I did the beige cat over there. So I'm going to change this a little bit and make her smoky slate. My cat is more of a beige tabby. We'll make this one more like a gray tabby. And I just looked up my sample and I realized my calico cat, I did much bigger patches. So again, you can do whatever you want. So there's the gray, a light gray as opposed to the brown and the crumb cake. But now I'm going to give it some stripes. So we'll go with the dark smoky slate. And I'm just going to do some little stripes. I'm kind of doing dotted stripes because I don't want it to be too pronounced. See there? And let's add in, my cat definitely has brown in it. So I'm going to add in some dark crumb cake, some stripes on the tail, and I'm even going to add in a little bit of black, just a tiny bit. I'll hold it up in a sec so you can see. Super cute. Oh my gosh, how cute. How cute is that? Little tabby cat. And I'm feeling now when I'm looking at my sample that I had bigger patches for this kitty. So I'm going to just make some of these areas bigger. There we go. Okay, now what to color the butterflies? I decided to use my color wheel, which I've since put back away, which I have right here. So this is a color coach from Stampin Up. Basically, when you're looking at browns and oranges and that kind of color tones, what looks good is going exactly opposite the color wheel. So if you look here, I dial in these colors here, and I go directly across the color wheel. So if those were kind of my tones, then directly across the color wheel would be some of those other tones. So I went with Balmy Blue. So blue and orange look good together. So I'm going to use my Balmy Blue and I'm going to color the butterflies with Balmy Blue. With the light Balmy Blue. And this is such a small area. Again, I'm not going to do any shading on there per se. Just color some dark. Maybe I'll do a little center line on those ones. Okay. How adorable. Okay, so now I need to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and die cut that. So I'm just going to move all these guys off to the side. Oh, and you know what? Before I do that, let me do this part too, because I forgot. I'm just going to do this first. So this is our Balmy Blue checked ribbon. Very pretty, Balmy Blue and white. And I'm going to use it with a piece of paper that is also kind of checked. So I don't want it to be competing too much with each other. So I'm going to change the color of this by using my Balmy Blue Dark Blends marker. And I'm just going to run it over top here like this. So hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it's showing up in the video. Basically, I'm just sort of changing it to a very faded check. And this is an alcohol marker, so it's drying pretty fast. I will let it dry for another second, though, while we're cutting out that image. I need enough to go across the card and then do a little knot, too. So maybe just a little bit more. And I'm using the side of the marker, not the tip, so that the tip stays nice. So you can really see the difference there between the two halves. And so it's still got a bit of a check pattern to it, but it's much more faded. Okay, so I forgot to bring the machine over, so have a look at that for a second while I bring it over. Ta-da! Hello. I'm just going to make this go up a little bit higher so you can see better. And let's see here. Calico cat is my favorite, said Paulette. Nicole says, calico cats are the best, but they are all adorable. Laura loves the set. And Cheryl says she's excited about the barbecue masterclass. Yeah, it's super cute stamp set. Actually, I don't think we can say cute. Maybe a manly stamp set. It's a great one for guy cards or anybody who likes to barbecue, really, seriously. Okay, so there's the dies. And you can see it cuts out this perfectly. So I'm just going to lay this on here. And I have a piece of my tape that I always use. Got it from Amazon. It is non-permanent tape. Just going to hold this on here. And there we go, without it moving on us. This is it here. It's on my website under Jenn Recommends. It's called removable tape, Scotch tape. And I use it for stuff like this so it doesn't move on me. Okay. I just have to adjust my heating pad. Hold on. I know that sounds funny, but I fell this morning walking the dog. As I mentioned, we have snow, more snow, even though it was cleared, and then it snowed, and then it cleared, and it snowed. And I just didn't see a patch of ice, and I went down. So I am nursing my tailbone right now with the heating pad. Okay, I'm going to just stick that die there. And how adorable is that? So cute, just like it is. All right, so I have a card base of Balmy Blue. Now, when I show you my original sample, you'll see I didn't fold it this way. I folded it the other way. And the two ways I fold cards are hot dog and hamburger. So this is long and skinny. And here I'm going to show you this one, but I'm just going to show you the inside. This one's hamburger, so short and fat. So this one's cut at an 8.5 by 11 sheet, cut in half, but at 5.5. And this one is cut in half at 4.25. So just a different way to do the card, which is kind of nice sometimes to do something different. I had this in my stash of stuff, so I decided I was going to use that piece because it was in my stash of stuff. Okay, now I did something different on the original one that I'm not going to do on this one. And I'll just show you why after. I just want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to grab my seal. Now this paper, I have used it before with you guys. It is Peach Pie Check. And on the back is this beautiful floral paper. It's this package right here. Lovely and beautiful. And I will put a supply list up so you can see. So it's this beautiful floral paper. But like with most of the DSPs, there's more of a plainer pattern on the back. So although I hate to cut into that beautiful paper, I actually really just want a plain piece for this card. So this is perfect. Just a little bit of check. And I'm going to put it on the peach pie. So the first layer of peach pie is 5.25 by 4. And then this piece is 5 by 2 inches. And then I'm going to take my ribbon that we just made. I don't know if I said this already, but it makes the ribbon a little stiff using the Blends marker on it, which I like. It makes it easier to tie and to hold it down. Okay, so I'm just going to put that there. So now you can see why I wanted to mute that ribbon a little bit, because I thought 2 checks there. I don't know, maybe it'd be fine, but I just wanted it muted just a little bit so it wasn't competing with the check on the bottom. So I just put a ribbon across there. See, if you look closely and when I hold it up, you'll be able to see it is still showing as a check pattern, just not as in your face as the white version. Okay, and then we'll take this little wee piece here that's left. Ooh, look at that, just enough. Good thing I just did that a little tiny bit more. Oh, and I just realized something else I forgot to do. See, the sore bum is affecting my brain apparently. I'm going to just trim that at an angle. All right, now you're going to wish me all the best of luck for this part because I'm going to stamp directly on the card, and I don't usually do that because if I make a mistake, then you don't have any options. But we're just going to hope for the best here. Normally, I would stamp this off here, and then if I needed to turn it over or grab another piece, I could. I'm stamping directly on the designer series paper, which, yes, is something you can do, especially with a nice light color like this. Hold your breath. Yay, it worked. Just a little hello. How cute is that? Love it. You don't always have to have a separate little piece for the saying. It can go right incorporated right in there. Okay, so now I have a piece of Timid Tiger to match the Timid Tiger marker that I used. So I'm going to attach this first, and then I'm going to show you the mat that I'm going to do. I'm just using Stampin' Dimensionals. I pretty much put dimensionals on every card. Always nice to pop up the images, make them look a little more interesting. So this is the same size of paper that I used before, which I forget already what it was. What did I say? It is 4 by 1.25. There we go. I'm going to look at your comments there in a second. So I'm going to put this on here. This is why it didn't matter that it wasn't perfectly straight before, because I knew I was going to do this. But I do want it straight on here. There we go. Okay, now one of the tricks that you want whenever you're using images like this or things like barbecues is you want to do what's called ground the image. So right now they're kind of floating. So I'm going to grab my crumb cake. Let's use crumb cake. And I'm just going to put a little bit of ground underneath each of these images so they look more like they're sitting on the ground. And because there's a little bit of a white area that the die leaves behind, I'm going to just color that too. It's just subtle, but it does make a difference to how things look. So let me just pull that up for you so you can see. Well, if you can just see that little bit of grounding there, makes it look done. Judy says, well done. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not sure what I did well, but yeah. Nicole says, ouch, I hope you heal quickly. Me too. Probably the biggest insult was the fact that it squished. I must have fallen on my hand because it's all swollen here. You can see. Knocked my nail polish right off, which is just horrible seeing as I just had them done. Okay, so I have two pieces of Timid Tiger here. So one of them is exactly 1/4 inch bigger. So there, which is the normal size that I do stuff. But this one is even smaller. So it's an 1/8 of an inch border instead. And I like this better. Sometimes I like a tighter border, especially when it's more of a color that I don't want to stand out as much. And in this particular case, I don't really want it to stand out as much because my main colors are the peach pie and the balmy blue, not the Timid Tiger. And this is totally a candidate for liquid glue, which I should have used because I've got such a tight border, but I'm very stubborn that way. There we go. Got it. Cute, 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 cute. So it's just a little wee border, like I said, and it makes a difference to how nice it looks, I think. I don't know. Not that that would have been anything wrong with that bigger border. And so on your paper trimmer, it's like 2 ticks instead of the full 5 ticks or 2.5 ticks to get the different border. If that makes any sense whatsoever. You know what? When you take a class with me, I go into it in detail. So here we go. How cute is that? Adorable. Okay, so now we're going to add a couple little blingy blings to it. Then I'm going to show you my sample that I started with, along with another couple of cards. So let's go take a pick tool. These are the Moody Palette Glossy Dots, and the colors are Secret Sea, Old Olive, which I think I used, if not last week, the week before, Cloud Cover, and White. So we're going to use white because we've got all this nice dark color here. And I'm going to do something different than I did on my other one, that one. And I always use odd numbers. They always look better. So I'm going to just do 3 here. You could do 5. You could even just do 1 if you wanted. Or you could go crazy and do 7 or something. But that just really just sort of pops on that peach color there. Let's just tuck. Actually, that's kind of cute just the way it is. So how adorable is that? Of course, we should add some Wink of Stella to those butterflies. Just a little bit of glitter. And you know what? I'm going to do one more thing. And I did not pre-cut it because I just thought of it. So hold on. I'm going to cut it right in front of you. I just want to do a piece for the inside because although Balmy Blue is pretty light color, this just makes it easier to write. So I'm going to do a 5 by 3 3/4 inch mat. Okay, I'm just going to go on the inside, and I'm going to grab my peach pie and another stamp. Here we go. This is one of the stamps that comes in the set. And it is a little set of footprints. How cute is that? Just in the corner like that. I feel like I need one more there. Okay, I'm going to pull that up where I put it on my card. And here we go. Just going to go right inside here. How sweet is that? Check those out. So cute. Very adorable. And Cheryl says she likes the choice of colors. Thank you. And can you explain why you put it on the top of the ribbon instead of just in the top section? Can I explain what I put? I'm not sure I understand your question. Oh, maybe the marker, do you mean? Is that what you meant? You could actually, if that's what you meant, you could color the other side too, but it sort of soaked through actually. It might be a little bit lighter if that's what you meant. Let me know if or maybe you meant where I placed the ribbon. And just about the ribbon placement, I wanted something that went across the whole card visually. Now I know some of it's hidden behind this piece, but it's easier to make one whole piece than to do two little choppy things. Also this, I just wanted it to be a fun little embellishment. I didn't want it to be huge like a bow or anything, because this still could be a card for a guy, right? The colors still would work for a guy. It's not too frilly. Is that what you meant? Let me know. Nicole likes the footprints. And June says, late to join, but hello. Hello, June. So let me show you the sample I did originally and how I changed it a little bit. So on this one, you can see that I put the footprints here. I kind of did a wee, and then I thought maybe it took away too much from the main image, which is why I changed it and put those on the inside. Also, look at my little calico kitty here. I kind of like this one better with the bigger spots. And this is the one I did tuxedo. So here you can see the two different versions and see what you think. Anyways, they're all cute, I think, and definitely I'll be using all of those cards. But this one, of course, will be the one that I put in the draw for next week. All I have to do is comment, like, and share, or one of the above, and you'll be in the draw. So let me see. I'd stamp footprints on an envelope as well. Of course. What a great idea. And I happen to have a brand new package of envelopes that I have to open up. So good idea, Villa. Let's do that. So where would you put them is the next question. So I think I'm going to put them on the back of the envelope here, like on the flap. And then don't forget, I still have two more cards I want to show you that I have made. One that I've made and another one that I got from some swaps that I do. What do you think, Villa? Is this good? How cute is that? Love it. So whoever wins that card will get that envelope with it as well. Okay, let's just move all this out of the way. And bottom and back, Lisa says. Bottom and back. I'm not sure what that meant. Let me know what you mean, Lisa. Okay, so there's the card I showed you off the top with the birds. And I matched the DSP to color those birds. Here's another one I got in a swap with the birds. So I love the secret sea with the birds and the cloud cover. And look how they did. This is like a pattern piece of paper. It's got like or it's a stamped. It might be stamped with a wood grain background. And then in the background, they've stamped the little image of the birds as well, which is super, super cute. Using the same greeting that I use. That's another one from the set, the happy birthday. And then this one I love so much. Look at this one. How cute is it? Again, it's using the dogs as opposed to the cats, using a set from the greeting from the set, and they've stamped the dogs multiple times, and then they've done the die cuts, and I told you how they fit in some of the images. So those are the ones that fit exactly. How cute is that? And then these big white dots on there and little pink flowers and red bandanas. It's so adorable. And this to me would again be a great guy card, mostly because of the colors, right? So anyways, there we go. That is the Cutest Crew. Like I said, it's in stock right now. But if you love it, don't wait, because it definitely has been a popular one. So let me just scroll into your comments before I sign off. And Marie says, so cute. Thank you. No, the whole piece with the cats, you covered almost the whole ribbon. You're right, because it was long and I probably could have gone away with just a bow there. Probably. And in fact, I think when I was playing with it here, I have my piece I was playing with. I almost used this piece as a border, because again, I like that line across there, but it was covering it up too much. So I decided to use the ribbon instead, which is kind of funny. Fun footprints. Very cute. Cheryl says she has that one on order. Bob says so cute. Oh, and it's not Bob, it's Elise. Hello. And Brenda says cute. Bottom of the front of the envelope. Oh, that would be cute too, like along here. That would be very cute, Lisa. Yes, okay, I get it now. I love the ones with the birds. I know they're so cute. So cute. Okay, so thank you, Brenda, for sharing. I appreciate that. And Vila, thank you for the good idea about stamping on the envelope. Yes, always stamp on your envelope. And if you can do the inside too, that's super cute as well. Okay, let's see here. Cheryl, I think I said that. Yes, choice of colors. Okay, good. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me and this Friday and every Friday, and I look forward to seeing you every Friday. I will do the draw for this card after next week, so just comment, like, and share so I can get your name in the draw. As long as you're Canadian, you can be in the draw. But you're still welcome to comment if you're not Canadian. That's fine. I love comments. So wishing you a wonderful weekend. I hope you're getting some crafting in. Hopefully you're not getting the crazy snow we're getting, and hopefully it's the first day of spring. Hopefully it actually takes this time. So again, thanks for watching me. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye now. See you later.